Morning, all. It's Brunch with Ryan. And it's Friday, so we're in formal dining room Friday day. And hey, did you come visit us? And of course, Marzi came over to say hi. Yes, say hi to Mars. Doesn't that always bring a smile to your face? And of course, we're going to start with a smile. Let's smile. Thank goodness it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So that's a good thing. We're smiling already because it's Friday, right? So lots of trying to stay on the sunny side today. There's always challenges in the world. Guys, is there always positives and negatives? There's always things to be happy about. There's always challenges in the world. And it's easy to sometimes get sucked into that. It's easy to sometimes get our focus on the challenges. Because now I've told you this before, that I'm a fixer. And that's kind of my mentality. My dad and my whole family is a bunch of engineers. And so when you have that kind of mentality, your tendency is to look at what needs fixing. So if you're always looking at what needs fixing, you're always looking at the problems, aren't you? And if you're focusing on the problems, you can sort of almost get a little negative because you're always looking at the problems, what needs fixing. But what you want to be thinking is what role you want to be. So you want to be thinking of fixer with a grin, or a happy fixer with a smile. So let's all do our smile. 30 seconds of smiling. And remember, your brain is a chemistry experiment. Your brain has a lot of chemistry going on up there. And there's dopamine and all kind of chemical reactions and synapses constantly. And look at how much food or sugar will affect your actual mood. I mean, I will tell you right now that if you go and eat a big candy bar right now, you will inevitably feel a lift in your mood. It's a mood improver. And caffeine too. And they'll actually say, sometimes caffeine is an antidepressant. So sometimes if people have problems with depression, there can be a worse thing than drinking a cup of coffee. But you remember, if you do some things that you do, like if you eat a bunch of sugar as a cure for an antidepressant, you'll spike up, and you'll be very cheerful for a little while. But then sugar is not so good because then you'll crash. So that's not a good, cure for an antidepressant, because you'll go up, you'll spike up and then go down. So what's a good cure for an antidepressant? What's our cure for that? Our smile. So that's your kind of access road. It's your quickest access point to your brain chemistry. It's basically a smile. So let's all put our smile on. It allows you to actually access your brain chemistry and change how your brain chemistry is working, and actually inject some dopamine into your brain. So let's all feel more positive and access our brain chemistry in a positive way with a big smile. Now, what's another way that we can do some good for our brain chemistry? Deep breathing. So I always talk about that. That actually will cleanse some of the toxicity in your brain and do positive things for us. So let's do our deep breathing now. Okay, first off, what we usually like to do, I like to breathe out. So you can take a nice deep breath in. So big deep breath in now. Nice deep breath. Hold it a sec and oh, that was a long, nice deep breath out. Remember, loosen up when you do that. Loosen up your body. Let all the tension and negativity go out. Okay, another deep breath in. Hold it a little and long, deep exhale. Now remember, guys, if you do your deep breathing in the morning with me every weekday, and also a couple times during the day. Now remember, your iWatch will remind you of that if you have an iWatch. You will actually increase your lung capacity. And especially if you push it a little bit on that last, the last little bit. So if you take your deep breath in, and then when you reach what you feel like is your full capacity, try to take a little more in, a little bit more. Try to expand your lungs at that last bit. A little bit. And then let it all out. Are you deep breathing with us, Bobby? Yeah. Okay. So that should loosen you up, relax you. Oh, that's good. Okay, so today I want to talk about personal responsibility because you know whose birthday was today? In 1884. Guess who was born today? It seems like a long time ago. But who was born then? It was Harry S. Truman. So Harry S. Truman was born on then, and everybody knows. Now it's great to have one, if you had one phrase, let's all do that. Okay, if you guys want to send in one quote, if you were going to be known in history, and if everybody was going to remember you, what is going to be the one quote you're going to be remembered for? All right, let's all write our epitaph on our tombstone today. That's a good one. Let's all write, if you had one quote that was going to be on your tombstone, not to be grave about it, to get too heavy on our formal dining room friendly Freaky Friday today, not to get too heavy. What would be on your tombstone today? Okay, so what was Harry Truman's? Who knows that one? Are you guys participating today? You got your typing fingers on? What was Harry Truman's famous quote? We all know that one. He took personal responsibility. He said, no matter what happens in the country, no matter what goes on when I'm president, the final responsibility lies with me. The buck stops here. So that was his famous saying, the buck stops here. So that means that he was taking personal responsibility for whatever happened. So that's the thing, that's a great saying. So that's him taking personal responsibility for whatever happens in the country. Now you need to take personal responsibility for whatever happens in your life. Now there's crazy things happening in the world right now. And there are things going on that are way beyond your personal responsibility. So there's things happening in your life, in your world, and in your career that are far beyond what you can personally control. However, how you deal with it personally and how your life progresses from here is absolutely up to you. And there are people who are going to come out of this whole COVID-19 trauma. And trauma is, people talk about trauma. What is trauma? Trauma, a traumatic experience is something that changes you forever. Okay, but you know what? That doesn't need to be change you in a horrible way where you are, worse, where you are worse off, where you are, a traumatic experience can actually change you for the better. The definition of a traumatic experience is just that that trauma changes you going forward. Now, can a traumatic experience change you for the better? Could you actually make positive changes in your life where you are better off and you make positive changes? Yes, you can. So a traumatic experience can actually change your life for the better. So this COVID-19 is a traumatic experience for everybody in the country, I think. And so after this experience, will you be a better person? And that's where it comes up to your personal responsibility. The buck stops here for you in your life. So will you come out of this traumatic experience better? That's where it comes up to you. So let's look at your life and look at what you can do and pick a saying. Pick, what is your epitaph? What are they going to say in 50 years from now? Because you're going to live to 100 or some ripe old age. So when you are laid to rest after battling your journey and doing well and having a successful life, what is going to be your saying? So let's try to write that. And if you want to send me something, that'd be cool. And I'm going to think of one for me, and maybe we can talk about it next week. But Harry Truman's was the buck stops here. Think of something positive and that could motivate you. That could be something that would be guiding light for you, a saying that could keep you motivated and on a good track. We all need a good track, boy, and boy, we need it now. So something to wake up, put a smile on your face. They always looked at the good, Brian, he always stayed on the good side. Now, that's not me. Unfortunately, I'm not the best at always staying on the positive side. I'm very perfectionistic, and I was thinking about it today. We've been working on a lot of things now, and I tend to be very perfectionistic, and I tend to get pretty hard on myself. So I have a hard time hewing that path of staying on the always the positive. So that's something I always work on. But you know what you could say about me is I always try hard. I always work hard to do my best. He worked hard to do his best. You know, okay, that's not it, but I'm gonna search for it, and I should have something. I have a lot of them, actually. That's the thing, is going to be picking one, because I have so many positive affirmations that it's going to be getting it down to one. So think of some positive affirmations. You know, if you have a few, I'll help you pick it down to one. So yes, send me an email. You know, you can always send me an email. I'm accessible to you guys. If you ever want to send me something personally that you want me to read, just say, yo, Brian. Yeah, you know what? If you send me something and say, yo, Brian, Y-O, Brian, I promise you I'll look at it, okay? Yo, Brian. So if you want to send me something and say, yo, Brian, just start it off. And our email is, I'll send you guys know, I'm going to give you our personal email. It's wolffcouple@gmail. That's the ones that we look at. We have the support at the Wolff Couple that goes through the office, and you can always send, and that's where you should send it if you have any requests about, you need answers about any of our systems or anything. Now remember, we're going to be later today, we're going to be on the summit with Global, and we're going to be doing deal structuring, and we're talking about our social media system. That is awesome. That's our free social media marketing. So now we're going to be talking about that in just about 3 hours and 15 minutes or so. So we're going to be talking all about that with Global. So be on that live stream. So we're going to be doing that. And so you'll be part of that. You'll see us there, and we'll be super positive. And that is an amazing system. And that will enable you to have all the sellers and buyers and build your business, build your local business and your local identity. And that's really, you know, people, it used to be, guys, if you were just putting signs out and you had a little, even if you had a little storefront and stuff, you just couldn't reach the people. But now with social media, you can actually build a local brand. And that's the amazing thing, what social media will do for you. So we're going to talk about that in a few hours. And so join us for that. And you definitely need to see us on that. And that's just a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer that you need a system to pursue social media. And that's not even just for your real estate business, that's for life. So social media is just such a huge part of the world now that it's just unavoidable. So you definitely need to see our presentation on that in a few hours. So come and see us for that. And guys, think of a saying for yourself that encapsulates who you are and that will keep you on a positive track in your life. Okay, so wonderful brunch with Brian. I love you guys. I will miss you over the weekend. Got a lot of stuff cooking, a lot of great stuff. Stay in touch. And yes, if you want to talk to me, send me an email, yobrian@wolffcouple@gmail.com, Wolff Couple with 2 Fs. And anytime you need anything from the office, you can always send it to support@thewolffcouple.com. All right, I love spending this time with you guys. You know, I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be here on Brunch with Brian with you. I even started thinking about this. What if I go on vacations or anything? I don't care. I'm always going to try to do these. So I'm always going to be connecting with you, and you guys can connect with me too. Send me emails and stuff, and I'll always be here for you. So see you. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Monday on Brunch with Brian.